In this demo, I'll show you how easy it is to interact with your Google Sheet data using get, post, put, and delete requests. There's no complex database setup that's required. Let's get started. So first, we'll need to prepare our Google Sheet. So this is the Google Sheet that I have prepared beforehand. It's called My Restaurants. My Restaurants has 3 tabs. It has the menu items. It also collects the order, as well as indicating what are the items within each order. So for the purpose of this demonstration, we'll just look at menu items. So you can see that in menu items, I have my header columns, as well as my data rows. So first thing first, we'll need to connect this Google Sheet with SheetDatabase. So let's go to SheetDatabase and log in with your Google account. So let's log in with the Google account. Make sure you grant the permission for us to interact with your Google Sheet. Continue. Now that we have logged in, we'll try to connect our Google Sheet to SheetDatabase. So all we have to do is to provide it with a Google Sheet URL. Let us go to Google Sheet, copy the URL, come back here and paste it. Once done, create project. In order for us to see the APIs that's automatically generated for us, we can click Manage, select one of the sheets. You can see that the get, post, put, and delete endpoint is automatically being generated for us. Let's go through it one by one. For the get endpoint, I'm going to copy the endpoint here, go to Postman, and send a get request. Once I sent a get request, you can see that it returned me a nicely formatted array of JSON objects. Next, let's try the post endpoint. Let's copy the post endpoint, go to Postman. We're going to send a post request. For the body, we need to include the data that we'd like to create in our sheet over here. So let's say that I'd like to create a new row in row 23. So I will structure my data like this. The ID is going to be food 22. Category is going to be beverages. For the menu item, it's going to be flat white, and I'll include the description, the price, and so on. Okay. I want you to observe what happened when I sent a post request. Right now, 23 is empty. When I sent a post request, the row has been added successfully. If we go back to our Google Sheet, you can see that the new row is added. The next endpoint that I like to test out is updating of a row in the Google Sheet. Same thing, I'm going to copy the endpoint and send a put request. If we take a look at the example code for put request, we need to provide it with a filter as well as the update data. Now, for the filter, we simply need to specify which is the matching row that contains the matching a cell value. Let's say for ID, I have specifically targeted the row that has ID equals to food-22. So food-22, if you take a look at our Google Sheet, is this row. So what do I want to update? I would like to update the price for this row to 15.5. Let's see how we can do that. I'm going to remove everything from here. Instead of 5.5 for the price, I will change it to 15.50. Right now it's 5.5. If I send this put request, successfully updated one row. We go back to our Google Sheet. You can see that for this row, the value has been changed from 5.5 to 15.5. So that shows that we have successfully updated our target row. For the last endpoint, the delete endpoint, we're going to copy the delete endpoint, go to Postman again, and the only thing that we need to specify is the filter. For the filter, it is very similar to the put request. I want to remove the row with food22 as the ID. So I put the ID as food22 as the filter. Once done, I can just send the delete request, and you can see that we have successfully deleted the row. If you go back to our Google Sheet, you can see that row 23 is no longer there. So that's how SheetDatabase allows you to transform your Google Sheet into powerful database. The moment you provide SheetDatabase with your Google Sheet URL, it automatically generates the get, post, put, and delete endpoint so that you can interact with your Google Sheet without the complexity of database setup. Thanks for watching. To start using SheetDatabase, simply sign up with your Google account and get started with our easy-to-follow documentations.